what I always wanted to do is what I'm doing now. So it's kind of like morphing into that, like, we'll keep going. Like, the industry is a really gruesome place. So you need to, like, literally pick yourself up. Because then I have stories for days. But I think the Niasha then was like, I'm not going to give up on this dream. And I think the Niasha now is still in that same mindset, just in a different way.
You know what? We gonna, we about to take off. Yeah, you know what? We about to take off.
Welcome back to Before We Take Off. As always, I am your host, Mufaro, and today's guest is an artist whose journey is about more than finding a sound. It's about finding the courage to stand fully in who you are. Niasha is a Zimbabwean-born Melbourne-based musician, songwriter, and spoken word artist whose work moves between soul, R&B, hip-hop, and amapiano. Through powerful vocals, bold visuals, and culturally grounded storytelling, she is building a creative world that connects her experiences in Australia and her roots in Zimbabwe. Beyond her own music, this is a long one. She is also a music director, youth artist, mentor, and a community advocate. She's a boss. She's a queen. Okay. Niasha, welcome to the Launchpad and welcome to the show.
What's good? It's time to be on here.
It's time. It is.
Yeah. And it's so funny that you said boss queen, because I remember you were the only person who started calling me that quite a lot. And then people just followed suit. So trendsetter.
Let's go.
Because every time I would hear boss queen, I'd turn around. I'm like, yep, it's you.
Yo, I was actually thinking about, do you know how we met?
Ooh.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about it. Let me take you back. It was actually, I DM'd you on Instagram.
You did?
I DM'd you on Instagram. It was, I want to say 2015 or 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to release a song and you had a song out called Real Good Love. You with me now?
Think I know where we're going with this. Yeah.
And I wanted to sample your chorus in my bridge. So that's how that was our first interaction.
I said yes, right?
You said, I hope you said yes, because that thing's been out there for 10 years.
Oh. Write me them royalties. Hold on. I didn't know.
Okay, well, that was our first interaction, but I don't think we actually met till like a couple years later when I was in Melbourne on tour and you opened for me gracefully.
Yeah, actually, I do remember that. That would have been 2017.
Yeah, I think so. 2017. Yeah. Sounds about right.
I can't even remember the venue, but I knew that I came to your event, performed, and then I had to go to another event that same night.
She was busy.
She was busy. Like, I was working.
And yeah, like it's been a long time coming, basically. This is where I'm going with all of this reminiscing. It's been a long time coming, and I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us here today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It is my absolute pleasure.
So let's just jump right in. Let's jump straight in and let's talk about it. So tell us your story from the beginning. Who is Niasha?
Yo, do we have 5 hours?
I mean, start where you want to start.
Are we talking about Niasha the artist or Niasha me as in the person? Because that is so, we could be here all day.
I mean, this is your show. This is your show. You start where you want to start.
Okay. Well, I go by the N to the I to the A to the S to the H-A. And I bring that S to the O to the U to the L to the C. I'm like a spectacle that you never expected to see. Call me classic, I'm timeless. My light can cause blindness if you stay too long.
Come on now. Come on now. That was, yo.
That is so fun.
Every other musician that's been on this show, you've been put on notice because,
hello?
Come on now. What do we, okay.
Okay. I didn't even
Niasha.
the whole thing, but that's how I introduce myself usually when I perform in places. And I think it's just a nice way to like, throw people off a bit. Like if I'm saying I'm a singer, I'm gonna show you that
100%.
we're here for business, isn't it?
For sure.
But yeah. So my name's Niasha, aka Niasha. I mean, some people ask me, so what's the difference? The difference is that my government name is with a Y and my artist name is with an I. And initially, the reason why that actually happened was because I didn't want my parents to find my YouTube channel when I
No
started
way.
making videos in high school. So I just changed it to an I, and I used to be called Nyasha to the max.
Uh-huh.
Because everything
Uh-huh.
was to the max. And then, yeah, so that's how that name came about. The I has taken its own meaning and shape over time, over the years. It comes with like inspiration and just, uh, inner introspection, I think is what I represents. And just I also being just like, I suppose you could say, like coming into the fullness of myself. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I coming into the fullness of yourself.
Yeah.
So with that, which parts of the younger version, Nyasha, who was hiding her YouTube channel from her parents,
Yeah.
which part of that are still present in the artist you are today?
You mean that's a good question. I think the me then and the me now are similar in the sense that there's still that grind and grit. Like it felt like at the time I had something to prove, and I don't necessarily feel that I have something to prove now, but I know that what I've always wanted to do is what I'm doing now. So it's kind of like morphing into that, like we'll keep going. Like, and as you know, like the industry is a really gruesome place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you need to like literally pick yourself up because I have stories for days. Okay. So, so
Yeah.
I think the Nyasha then was like, I'm not going to give up on this dream. And I think the Nyasha now is still in that same mindset, just in a different way. Because yeah, my parents don't care anymore what I do, really.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did the degrees, I did the things. They're like, yeah, all right. I mean, okay. Yeah.
What can they do, right? So what's like your earliest memory then of being musical? Because I think one thing that I enjoy about your music is very much like me, you're a storyteller. And so yeah, what is your earliest memory of kind of being that musical storyteller?
I mean, I've always loved music as a kid. Like I was that child that would be dancing at the events and singing along to like whatever brand of whatever you put on TV or on radio or you played. The cassettes, I was like fully immersed. Like I like loved Michael Jackson. I loved singing at church. They
Yeah,
even put me in a choir. I was like the only kid in our church choir in Zim. So like I was like fully like always immersed in music and at school and at creche, like which is like kinder, I suppose, the equivalent.
yeah,
Like I just loved like music. I loved
yeah,
to dance and I would sing all the time. Like I think my parents were like, "Yo, guys, it's not every day." Yeah, and I would be watching like American Idol, South African Idol, like yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it was like that. And pretend like me and my sister would pretend like we're on the show and yeah, do all the different songs like Celine Dion and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like I think I was the exact same. My mom loves telling this story, but I used to whenever we had guests at the house, I used to force them to sit in the kitchen where I would put on a concert. Um, where
Yeah.
I was either mind you, I am like 5, 6 years old. I have no business, being Shakira, being Usher, being all these people that I'm listening to.
Are you was Shakira?
Girl, I was Beyonce. I was Beyonce, Michelle, and Kelly. Like it was
Okay.
just yeah. It was no. I think at the time because this was around the time where my sister, as a Christmas or a birthday gift or something, was bought the Destiny's Child tour DVD where they're in Rotterdam, and I
Okay.
studied that thing. I
Mm,
studied it. I
yeah.
studied it. I knew. I knew every song on the set list. I knew the choreography. Like I said, I was Beyonce, Michelle, and Kelly. Like it was just, yeah. I really enjoyed Destiny's Child, and then like at the same time, I was gifted the Justin Timberlake Justified CD.
Oh,
So yeah,
Cry Me a River,
so
Justified.
Cry Cry Me
Hey,
a River,
hey,
Rock Your Body, like that was, I was putting on a show. I was
yeah,
putting
yeah.
on a concert. Like,
I knew
you
that.
thought you came to dinner, but no, you came to a Destiny's
You came
Child
to a
Justin
show.
Timberlake show. Like it was
You came to you came to an experience. Yeah, and that's so interesting that you mentioned that. Like as you were talking, it reminded me of all the memories that I had. So like even when it comes to like live performance and shows, like, my
yeah,
sister and I would coordinate a whole like acting into music, do a showcase of tuku. So my dad used to work in Botswana when we were growing up. So when he would visit, like at the end of the month, we would be like, yeah, okay, fantastic. You're our audience. Sit there. We're gonna come out. We're gonna do a whole acting thing with like like
yeah,
a whole show. Yeah.
yeah.
So when people are like, why do you like show your shows are so? I'm like, I got 45 years of experience. Yeah. Doing this since back in the day. But yeah,
Literally.
so yeah, those memories just are just like coming up for me right now. But yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
time. Good
Nah,
time.
I love all of that. So, okay, you were born in Zim.
Born in Zim.
Tell us the story of, getting from Zim to Australia and where you are now.
Ooh, so from Zim to Australia, I would say, like you said, I was born in Zim, raised in Harare, and it got to a point where I was 13 in high school, my first year of high school, and my dad moved to Australia for a job. He's a civil engineer by trade. And then we followed him maybe 6 months after that. And that's how we landed in Australia. And then on Christmas Day of that year, 2008, we moved to a country town called Robinvale.
I
So
don't even think I know where that is.
exactly. So Robinvale is a very small town that is between Swan Hill and Mildura.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Mildura, essentially like almost border of New South Wales. So
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I lived for a full year, and that was really jarring because it was
Okay.
like also the hottest year since 1938 or some random thing. The bugs, the
Yeah. Yeah.
flies, the heat,
Yeah.
the newness of the place, the like trying to make friends and it being so difficult. Like we were the only African family in the whole
I
town.
was
It's
I
like,
was gonna say like,
yo,
yeah.
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 But you
The
know what kept me
dust.
grounded?
Tell me.
God and music.
Amen.
Done.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. Country Victoria. What a place to be.
country. Not even country, rural. that is rural area. Yeah,
Regional.
regional. So yeah.
Um, and then what brought you to Melbourne?
What brought us to Melbourne was his job finished there, and then we just moved back. And then we were
Okay.
living in the west side of Melbourne. So that was also a slight adjustment, but it was still, you know, just, yeah, adjusting to like life in Australia and, being the minority and all of that kind of stuff and navigating
Yeah.
school and, again, having to meet new people and make new friends. Like, yeah, we've moved around quite a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. So you
It
just
it is,
adaptable.
yeah, and 100%. Like you got to be adaptable, and it is such a like, I don't know. People just assume that people who emigrate, like we just get on the plane and land and we live life.
No, not at all.
Like there is a true like adjustment period that a lot of people genuinely don't understand, and it's like, bro, you've never been out of the country. Like, how can you tell me that I'm just living my life? Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
yeah,
Especially like because your parents are trying to figure it out. You're trying
yeah,
to figure it out. You're like, where does it intersect? When we're all trying to figure it out. Yeah.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And so then, throughout all of that, was there a particular moment where like music changed from something you loved to something you wanted to pursue?
Ooh, Ooh, okay. So going back to it'll make sense. So going back to Robinville, right? So I'm alone. I can't. People didn't want to be friends with me for a variety of reasons. So I would spend a lot of time in the music room and just like coming up with choreography to like T-Pain, Freeze, and like Cataluna. That's when it was popping. Or what's her
Yeah,
name?
yeah, yeah.
With the TikTok. So that
Yeah.
was like my vibe, my space. And I would come up with choreography and like, listen to a lot of music. And then I performed at they have like every year they have like a end of year performance thing that they do. I got to perform with using my keyboard. I was doing Love is Wicked and everything.
Sure.
And I actually got featured on TV. Like it was a Channel 7 or Channel 9 or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was so weird because when they were framing the story, they were like, somebody like this has come to Australia for better opportunities and because where they're coming from, obviously this talent would not have been able to make it, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay. But it was just like, wow, I landed on TV. That's my future. That's my destiny.
Right.
And then, moving to Melbourne again, having to start over. Once again, music became that same thing. And then in year 10, especially, I was in a class with one of these guys. Shout out to his name is Cool. That's his actual name. So Cool decided to sign me up to our school talent show.
Yeah.
I technically didn't want to do it because there was another girl who was like a year above us, who everybody like knew, loved, was an amazing singer. So people were like, she's gonna win, da da da, whatever. So I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm just here for school. I'm in advanced maths. Like, what's going on? I get to the talent show. I'm like, he signs me up. He's like, you have to sign up. Like, you have to sign up.
Wait, is Cool Zambian?
Yes.
I know him. Okay, go on.
Yeah, Cool. So Cool, signs me up. Is like, you have to do it. Signs me up to this thing. And then because me being the achiever that I am, I'm like, I prepare a whole thing. So basically I go in there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play the keys, I'm gonna sing Neo. I think it was One in a Million. Then I was gonna change to I Need a Doctor. And then when I got up, then they were gonna play Justin Timberlake T.I. What's to say? My Love. So then I was a whole little dance and people were screaming. It was crazy. So I won that talent show. From that time, from that time, like being on stage, like I'd been on stage before, like in primary school, and we'd like sing, or they'd make me sing like "Oh Happy Day" and all that kind of stuff. But when I heard the people screaming, that time, and I didn't think I was going to win because A, B, C, D, like it was literally like, it's like a moment where you're like, I feel like this is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah. That light bulb moment.
It literally like finally like landed in my
Yeah.
Yeah, this is you. Yeah.
So I guess like then, when we look at Niasha to the max, right?
Yeah.
When did that transition out of Niasha to the max, like when did Niasha, this artist, when did that begin to feel like, more than just a hidden YouTube thing, but like a fully formed, like, artistic identity?
I think it was just like different people in my life encouraging me to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the writing of the songs, producing it, that kind of thing. Just different people in my life who I met along the way who were like, you should do this. You should record a song. You should, just do this. And they would help me through that process. So that's how I sort of transition. And I think sometimes you do need that push from people because sometimes people are seeing something that you're not seeing because I'm just me. I just know this is what I do. I love music, but other people can be like, do you know that you're actually a star? I don't know if you know, but
of course, yeah. And sometimes like it's definitely people who see it in us, right? Like we don't always see it in ourselves. But like I agree, like you are a star. Like I've had the distinct pleasure of watching you on stage, sharing a stage with you, being your hype man for a set. Like it's all been, like you definitely are a star.
Yeah. And like what time was that when we were all on stage and we were dancing and doing random things? Whose show was?
I think was it Uncle Waffles?
Well, there was that one. Actually, yeah. Wow, we've been on a couple of
Yeah.
stages. So it was Uncle Waffles, and then I think we had. It was in this. It was in this interesting place. I don't know. It
Uh-huh.
was. I think it whether it was Musa Keys or it was Adekunle or something like that. Like I think you performed.
It might have been
You
Musa
told me to
Keys.
jump on stage. Do you remember that? You pointed
Yes.
at me in the crowd. You said, "Hey, yo, come on the stage."
Yeah. Musa Keys.
Musa Keys,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I didn't want to do that show. That's why I had all those people on that stage.
Exactly, because I was like, how did I end up here? I mean,
I
I'm
was
here to support you, but
no,
gosh.
I was going through some things, man. I did not want to be there that night. So like that's why like Kudzai was on stage for a song and then he just stayed up there and then we did his songs. It was a lot, but I had fun. It
Yeah,
actually turned me around. I actually had a good time.
yeah. Musa Keys was top 3 of one of my favorite like shows that I've been to. He was great.
Yeah.
So that
No,
was
it's
great.
good. So I'm curious then, like, you kind of said this before where it's like, do we want to talk about Niasha or do you want to talk about Niasha, right? Like, is there a distinct difference for you? Are those two different people, two different characters?
No, I think they're just like different sides of the same coin. I feel like
Right.
if you meet me as like as the artist, I would say you're seeing this like bold, bright, like I'm full of energy on both sides of my
Yeah.
life. But I
Yeah.
think people might assume that I'm like always on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas like in life, I'm just chill.
Yeah.
I'm most of the times I'm really shy, to be fair with you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there's like those aspects where I'm like in real life, I'm just yeah. That's not to say that like Niasha as me being the artist is not that. It's just like me informs that. So that's like probably like I said, the I is like the introspective, the fullness. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you get like the 100% bright
Yeah.
light version. I'm still like that in person. I'm just a little bit different. And it's also there's certain aspects of me that only the people that are closest to me will have access to, if that
Of
makes sense
course.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that's a massive like safety thing, right? Because you have to protect yourself, like even like just like mentally, you got to protect yourself. And if you're out there giving all of you to everyone, like it can be hard to kind of then have that space to yourself, or even just to the people who you hold dearest.
Yeah. And also I think I'm learning to this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm learning to also sometimes see it as just like part of a job, instead of being my whole personality. Because sometimes like I think when you do that, you become this thing that and that people have expectations and can speak, opinions of and on. And the fullness of me is not just a musician. I'm also a
Yeah.
person who likes to think deeply. I'm also a person who loves movies. I'm also a person who just cares about and loves kids. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like there's so
Yeah.
many different aspects of me, and art is just one of the ways that like, I'm expressing yeah,
Yeah.
self and
Yeah.
my deep thoughts. Yeah.
And it's kind of like I had I had I had Frank Mari on this show.
Twice. Yeah, I should call him that.
I call him
Shout
Fred.
out to Fred. He was mentioning one of the first people who were recording with me.
Yeah.
At his
Yeah.
house, at his mom's house. I had to, and it was like only like what, a 10-minute walk to his
Oh
house.
yeah.
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 So that was cool. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No. I was just saying, like, he was on the show and he was kind of talking about how on his journey, like, he had become a caricature of himself. And that's what kind of led to him kind of reinventing himself as to, the journey of Frank Mari. So I totally understand that, where it's like, you don't want to, you don't want to become a caricature of yourself, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then it becomes this thing. Like what I'm noticing about the industry is like you build this persona and you become such a brand that it's like who is this person? And am I this person as a result of like all the different opinions of what people have said I should be, or you know what I mean? So yeah, you can actually kind of lose yourself if
100%.
you're not careful.
Yeah. 100%. I hear that. Now, as I kind of said, like, I've known you for a long time, and I've kind of been able to see, I guess, let's call it an evolution. Let's call it I've seen how your sound has built over time and how
Mhm.
your artistry has built over time, and it's fantastic. So having worked through, you know, soul into like that R&B, hip hop, and now like you're deep in like Afrobeat and I'm a piano in your bag with your latest couple of releases.
Yeah.
What has, I guess, each part of that journey and each part of that sound, what does that revealed about you and where you were at that point in your life? Or was it just like you were just vibing?
Oof. It's a combination of a few things. I
Yeah.
think I always say that I make music that I like. So let's start there. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if I release it, no, I don't care what you say. I like the song. That's that's really what it is, and I would listen to it 100%.
Yeah.
Um, and the other thing was that at that time, when it comes to like making soul music, that was the journey that I was on. I released my first ever song, "Don't Settle." That was the time that I was in when I was reflecting about relationships, and I'd gone through some crazy stuff that I'll share at another time, at another day. And then moving on to like Boss Queen and just like, you know, digging deep into like the empowerment of women
Yeah.
was really important to me, and working with Mikey, you're from Preston, Michael Cooper on the track was really cool, as well as a part of my journey of like learning how to like put music together, exploring structures and sound,
Yeah.
yeah, and just making something that was like cool and vibey. And my favorite thing to say about Boss Queen is that, majority of the people that listen to Boss Queen are men. Actually, like,
I'm right there. I'm
so
right there with you.
found so fascinating. Like whenever I've looked at the stats of Boss Queen, it's always like some ridiculous percentage of the mandem. I said, yeah, right,
Yo.
okay,
Okay.
all right,
Interesting.
yeah, which I did not expect, but
Yeah.
music is
Yeah.
like that. And then moving on to hip hop and that exploration is like I've always liked rap. I've always written rap, and I feel like spoken word and rap to me are kind of similar in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can with rap for me, it feels like I can be a bit rowdy, be a bit, braggadocious a little bit, be a bit, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Be a bit fun. So I
Yeah.
loved being able to do that. And then with 4 a.m., I just had fun. I love narrative. I love thinking about stories. Like I said, I love movies. So I just love like, oh, there's a plot twist. Oh, there's like a cliffhanger. Oh, there's this. I was like, I need to infuse the things that I love about
Yeah.
life into, and insert it into like a short film, basically, as it was. Yeah, and bring humor. Like I love having a good time. I love laughing. I love just like, you know, the dramatics. So I was like,
I
why
was
not put that in there?
I
Yeah.
was gonna say 4 a.m. is a very dramatic music video. Like is good. Is it's great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved like putting that together with Awak. Like we were like, what's the script? What's the craziest thing that could happen? And
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we need to make it into that because yeah. Yeah. So, and then, yeah, getting to the current music that I'm making now, it's just an exploration. Like I really fell in love with Amapiano during lockdown. COVID was
Mm,
crazy.
yeah.
And yeah, that was when the music was coming up, like 2020, like with the Scorpion Kings and all that kind of stuff, Vigor Deep. And like, I was just like, what is this sound? I'm in love. Count me in. And it was just like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
out here. It just reminded me so much of the music that we grew up with in Zim, like listening to Malaika and Mafigi Zolo and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Brenda
100%.
Fassie, who I really like loved as a kid growing up. Yeah. So yeah. So that's how we got to I'm a piano, like I said, which is why I said it at the start. I make music that I like. So if I'm feeling like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
battles are, yeah, yeah.
This is where we're at.
This is where we're at, but this is not the end either. Like I
Of
can
course.
go back to R&B if I wanted to. I can do a bit of reggae. I could do a bit of dance. I just love music. So
Mm.
whatever feels like the right way to express the thoughts and the feelings with whatever genre it is, that's what will come out. Yeah.
That's good because I guess where I'm leading to with my follow-up question for that is like, society or the music society kind of tells us that we have to be one artist in one genre, in one lane, and all that kind of stuff. So, like, you having been someone who over the last 10 years that I've been knowing you has kind of maneuvered your way around all the various things. What have you, I guess, unlearned about what a successful or marketable artist is?
Mm, that is a really good question. I think I'm still on the journey. I'm still learning. Maybe
Yeah.
my mind will change, but I think as artists, we technically have an obligation to just do what we feel, if that makes sense. And I don't mean feel like la-di-da feel. I mean
Mm,
feel as in like, if this is the time for you to do hip hop, do the hip hop.
right.
Because the limiting aspect, I understand obviously when you're taking people on a journey, when they say you're taking your audience on a journey, they need to sort of know what it is, how to categorize you. But then at the same time, it's also limiting to your creativity
Hmm.
to be stuck in that space. Like if you feel like, I want to dabble into, country for a little bit, I don't see why not. It might not be for everyone, but then again, your music will never be for everyone.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So,
But
you
it is what it is.
know what I mean? That's why I feel like you're the artist. So if that's what you feel like making, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Same as
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
painting stuff, and they're like, this time I feel like using greens instead of reds. Like, okay,
Yeah, no, I like that. I don't think I've ever kind of considered that perspective where it's like you're the artist, so like do the art that
yeah.
inspires you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Because
I
I mean, I understand like with branding, you have to balance, so to speak, that sort of thing of like, what are you known for? And but I think you can evolve and you're
yeah.
allowed to evolve. I think the problem becomes when people still try to put you in boxes. Tomorrow I might wake up and be like, yeah, I love the I'm a piano phase. I feel like making dancehall. And
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like, why not?
Genuinely. No, you're right. You're right. No, I like that. I appreciate that perspective for sure.
Mm.
I guess looking at then like, being the artist and doing the art. I gave you a warning that this would come up. I
Eh.
gave you a warning that this would come up, but like as a woman navigating the music scene, have there been moments where I guess no. I know the answer to that. The answer to that is yes. Tell Talk us through.
Expensive. It's the better question. Yeah. What is your
I
question?
was gonna say, talk us through moments where people sort of misunderstand your confidence or your ambition. Like, how do you protect your voice and how do you protect yourself in this industry?
Mm-hmm. How do I protect myself
Yeah.
in the industry? I think one answer, okay, this is a multi-layered answer. I think having people around you who know you really well and are not there for your music actually helps ground you,
Mm,
because you know that even if all else fails, you still have real people in your life who love and care for you just as you are, not as Niasha, the artist or the superstar, whatever. And they can also really encourage you to keep going and also be a sounding board because they know you as the person. Yeah. So sometimes you can be in a really crazy situation and I could just call one of my friends and be like, girl, this is the situation. And she'll be like, you know what? That's trash. Like, you should not even accept that. And then I'll be like, you know what? You're right. Done.
yeah.
The artist in me might have been okay with it in the sense that, like, sometimes you're just like, "Ah, it's business, you know?
Mm,
But
mm, mm.
other times, like, you actually need to go back and be like, okay, like this wasn't okay on so many levels and it's beyond the business.
Yeah.
Another aspect that I protect myself is my faith. I believe strongly in that. Yeah. Stay prayed up out there because the streets is ghetto. The
Yeah,
streets
yeah,
are
yeah.
ghetto. Like there've been so many situations where I could have crashed out, you know? I also could have cussed some people out on the internet and they would have, their careers.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
But as a Christian, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You forget, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also what's kept me together. What's kept other people together.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because then I guess I'm curious, like give us some insight, give us some perspective on, what it is like kind of being in the industry as a young woman.
I think there's sometimes a lot of undermining of just ability or talent, or there's sometimes when people are like, I gave you this opportunity. If
Yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah.
weren't me, then you wouldn't have A, B, C, and D. There's a lot of times where you have to fight for certain things, like to be paid a fee that is comfortable to you. Because sometimes people can just be like, but like,
It's
whatever.
for exposure.
Yeah, it's for exposure, cat. And I'm like, the difference between me and the next artist or male artist is no artist can rock up. If I need to show up as my best self, someone has to do my makeup, someone has to
Yeah.
do my hair. I have to look for an outfit. And those
Mm.
things actually cost money. So part of the fee that I'm putting in actually accommodates those amounts to cover those costs. Because what's
Yeah.
the point of me paying somebody to do all of this and getting paid less than what I'm spending to do a thing? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Business wise, my accountant is like, no, we cannot be doing that. What's another thing? I'm trying to think. Mm, I think that male ego.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness me. And it can come in many forms. It can come in, I want to help you
Yeah,
get to
yeah,
the
yeah,
next place. It can come, and that comes with broken promises. That comes with, people ghosting. That
yeah.
comes with you're not priority on the list of things that they need to do or complete. And I'm talking about producers. I'm talking about think of all the layers.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
of all the
Yeah.
layers of the people to work with. But yeah, so that stuff can come up as well. And then even just like the simple thing is like you'll be at a sound check and people are like, okay, you're done now. You need to go. And I'm like, I was told that I have 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm owed my 30 minutes.
Give me my time. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm not sound checking for fun. Like sound check is not for fun. You know what I mean? Things like that. Or, you're telling like a sound engineer, like, hey, can you fix this? Can you add reverb to that? And because you might not know the technical terms to use, they kind of just scoff at you or do nothing.
Oh, like it's very dismissive?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. And a lot of times, like if I'm moving around, if I have a male presence with me, there
Mm.
seems to be a little bit more respect.
That's so interesting.
Mm.
That is so interesting. I guess like for you, like when does the business person come out in those situations? Because I
The
think
big-
what
yeah.
a lot of people don't understand is like they think, oh, musicians, they just rock up, you give them the mic and they sing. But it's like, nah, fam. Like there's, a lot has happened for us to get to
How
this
do you
point.
even get to this conversation? Like, especially when you don't have management, like who do you think is responding to those emails, coordinating
Yeah.
that? If you're dealing with the band, that means you have to coordinate the band times for rehearsal, the venue that people are rehearsing, how long they're rehearsing for, sending the music that the people are rehearsing for, coordinating with the MD of the band to be like, this is the order and the set list that I want the songs to be. This is how I want the songs to sound. This is how I want the BVs to sound. This is how I want the guitar to sound. When you get to the sound, to the rehearsal, you're explaining to everybody, this is the vision. This is how we're doing it. These are the colors that we're wearing on the day. This is the time we need to rock up on the day.
Yeah.
Brain is cooked. And
That
this
colors
is
thing is real. Yeah, just rehearsal. That's not even the gig yet.
Then, yeah, and on the gig, when it comes to like, okay, can you send us the stage plot? Can you send us a bio? Can you send us a picture? Can you send us this and that and the third? Invoice.
Yeah.
When you get to the show, like you need to know where you're going. How many minutes is sound check? What time do people need to rock up for sound check? How long is the sound check? After that, where do people go? Are we staying? Are we going? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, do you find it hard or easy to collaborate with other independent musicians? Because here's why I'm asking this question, right?
Yeah.
I know for me personally, when I put on a show, until I hit the stage, I'm all business. So I'm adamant that I need to make sure that everyone from the person at the door to the person, right next to me on stage knows what's going on and is comfortable with what's going on and is like, they've asked every single question that they need to ask.
Yeah, and they have the capacity to do that which
100%.
require them to do.
100%. And then it's like, for me, like even working with, I'm not someone I'm not a diva when it comes to like the show or being like the headliner of the show. Like I'll literally be out there during your set and watching you. And then I'll go back before it's my time to go on stage. But yeah, like always making sure that, even people who are sharing that stage with me, who've graced their presence with me,
Yeah.
are kind of, happy and comfortable and are reassured by the decision they've made
Yeah.
to be on the show. So it's like, yeah, do you find, what is that collaboration like in your experience with other people you've worked with? Because like for me, I think it's just as important when I'm the headliner to treat the supporting act just as important as I want to be treated by the booker or whoever else.
Yeah.
And like vice versa, when I'm the supporting act, I equally also want to be treated just as important as a headliner. Not always the case, but it is what it is.
Look, I think one thing that I'm learning and that I use as a philosophy as part of what I'm doing, and I'm learning this actually, is that this is a people business. So you actually have to treat people well. And it's really important that you do. And that's not because, for later on, you're going to get something out of it. But I think it's just important to honor people, to see them,
sure.
to value them, to hear them, and to just acknowledge and honor their gift and their time. So with every show that I've, been a part of or like I've, headlined or whatever, I really make sure like I have people working with me who know and understand that aspect of me. Like hospitality is so important.
Yeah.
To the point where we're like, if someone has to like usher you in and get you seated there, like for example, we had somebody who had a disability coming to the event, just to make sure like we needed a chair for her, we needed to make sure she was comfortable, we needed someone to check in on her to be like, do you need a drink, do you need this, do you need that? Like, do you know what I mean? To make sure.
Yeah.
Make sure. And that's someone who's coming as an audience.
Yeah.
Talk of, people who are coming to do, to support. Up until like, your sound check, you're given the adequate amount of time for your sound check. Because I know how it feels to be on the other side of that, where, and I love that what you said about like also being in the crowd to see and enjoy, the other person performing and doing their thing. Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, like I've been a supporting act where nobody has been there for your set. So like in my head, I'm like,
audience and artists.
yeah. So in my head, I'm like, if no one is gonna, and you always cross your fingers that people do, but I'm always like, man, if no one else is there, at least I'm there. And like I also encourage my band. I'm like, no, we need to go and watch the set and just support, because like I've also been a headliner where everyone who was at the show was there for the support act, and then they dipped right after their set and there was no one there for my set. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yay.
So like yeah, like I think for me like I'm big on like the whole, you know, I don't want to overuse the word community here, but like, you know, I'm big on the whole aspect of artists being there for artists in a genuine capacity as well. Cuz like I've discovered some of my favorite artists as support acts, as opening acts, as you know, so it's just been yeah, I'm really there for like that whole thing of and it's karma, right? What goes around comes around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to treat people well.
For sure. For sure.
Mm.
Hey, let's switch gears for a second now. So, like, you know, coming back to where you are now with your music and with your sound, you went back to Zim a couple years
Mm.
ago, and this
I
is where
did.
you know this is kind of what brought on this new era of the Boss Queen that we're in.
I
So,
mean, did it bring it? Do you know it added, but yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, no, because I was gonna say, like, what was that? You know, what was it for you going back to Zim and spending some time there and creating while you were there as well?
Mm. That was a crazy time
Mm,
because I guess I'd already started making some of the music. Like for example, Kendenga, which is out. We'd already started making that. That song was actually technically meant to come out in 2023. Okay.
right.
So yeah, and it felt slightly different. It was a slower version of that and all that kind of stuff. So I was already going back to my like essence roots. I love, language. I love, singing in Shona, writing in Shona and Devele and all that kind of stuff. So that was the journey that we were on. And then the headline show happened and then we went to South Africa, to Zim and to Zambia.
Mhm.
Zim was a lot. And
Yeah.
I mean a lot in the sense that there was so many emotions attached to Zim. It was like the first time I'd been to Zim since I left, which would have been like, at the time it was 15 years. It was
Whoa.
the first time
Okay.
I was returning as an adult.
Yeah.
It was the first time I was returning as an artist. I wasn't coming as in like particularly for holiday or to see people, or, that kind of thing. I was coming back as an artist. So that was really interesting. And
Mm,
also like seeing family and like seeing where I sort of grew up. It looks the same, but also not the same. So it was just very confronting. And I
yeah.
remember one of my friends, Silent Go, if you know, check him out. Amazing. So Silent invited us to it was almost like a writing camp that
Mhm.
he was doing for one of his songs. So we went. I'm like excited. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be in the studio. We're gonna be making music. I'm in Zim. And there was all these beautiful, amazing, brilliant artists like based all over Zim coming
Yeah.
in, and we were having fun. Like, as Zims get together, we're making songs up on the spot, blah blah blah. So it was time for me to write the lyrics to my part, and I couldn't.
Right.
Stuck. Like
Okay.
literal like writer's block. Could
Yeah.
not with anything. So I just like excused myself from like being, and I was just basically vibing for the rest of the time. And when I sat back and thought about it, I think I was just so overwhelmed with being back at home that I just didn't know
Mm.
what to do with that emotion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because like you,
yeah.
I was gonna say like you went back as an artist, right? But then like you're now kind of throwing all these curveballs that you weren't expecting, like being back home, being around family and everything like that. So I can imagine it would have, yeah, taken its toll.
Yeah. So I was just, it almost like I just felt like I was frozen. And I was like back to being a little kid, but also like, wow, there's so much happening here. And it's so good to be back home. But then another time we went to a house like in Mount Pleasant by this guy named Gudoguru. So he has like a studio space at his
Hmm.
house. It's like a hut and all that. Like it's like the floor is with cow dung. It's like a carpeted thing. Like it's like nature.
Right.
On some
Right.
nature.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We get there, we're chilling, they're making sadza outside and all that stuff. His kids are running around with no shoes. We're moving around on the, ground with no shoes. And then
It's like that. That's that moment.
was just sitting there. And Keegan, Sika, was just playing around, making a beat. And
Yeah.
that's all I could hear. in my head over and over again. And I was like, you know what? This feels like a celebration, like a coming home, like a homecoming. And that is actually what, yeah. So the chorus of Sizo Jabula, I wrote that in Zim, in Harare. Yeah.
What a moment, right? Like when you kind of just when you're stuck and then just your environment just changes all of that, right? Like that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that was why I think in terms of like releasing Sizo Jabula, it was important for me to start with that song.
Right.
Because it was like coming back to myself, which was going back home. That was the only at the time song that I wrote in Zim or managed to was able
Mm.
to. And it was just, Sizo Jabula Namhlanje, meaning, we will be joyful today. Like today is the day. You don't wait for joy to come tomorrow or
Yeah, choosing joy.
but yeah, you're actually actively choosing that. And being back home reminded me of that. Yeah.
That's so cool. And like, yeah, what a moment. And it's a dope song. It's
Yeah.
a dope song. And like I can, yeah, like just kudos to you because for me, listening to that song again, like, and I think that's why I sort of summed it up as an evolution because I, from my perspective, I witnessed a certain growth in your
Mm.
artistry with that song. So it wasn't necessarily around the sound, but like I could just I felt like it was a growth in who you were as an artist, at least from an audience perspective. As a fan, I will say it, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. So and I've always been. And so like yeah, I thought that was such an amazing kind of tune and like I'm really excited to sort of see then what's next after that. Cause like even like Kendenga as well and like watching the music video and I'm like, yo, did she make this in Zim? Like it really looks like Great Zimbabwe.
I love that. See, like I said, I love visuals.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
visual storytelling. And it's so crazy because I was so stressed trying to figure out what am I going to do with this video? Because another concept of the same video wasn't working.
Right, okay.
Yeah, there was like footage that we took. Okay, and now I'm spilling the beans. Let me spill the beans. So
Let's go.
basically,
Exclusive.
exclusive. So initially I wanted to use the footage that I had during my time in Zim.
Hmm.
But so many things were happening around like that footage and whatever. It just wasn't working out and within the timelines that I needed to in order to release the song and then release the video. So I had to sit with myself and be like, okay. And which is something that as an artist, you're going to have to do a lot. Pivot. There's a roadblock here. What must happen now? So
Hmm.
now I'm searching all over the internet. I'm like, okay, I need an idea. I need a concept. Okay, I need to sit with myself. Let me think. I was like, wait, there's a place that I've seen before that has trees that resemble baobab trees.
Right, right, right. Yep.
I'm at work scrolling through, scrolling through the internet, trying to figure this out. What's going on? Then I find like a few places. I'm like, ooh, okay. Then I land on this place. I can't really say what it is unless they, trying to sue me or something. Because permits and whatnot. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
find this place, and then I, message the guy that I've been working with on visuals, amazing, Tommy. He goes by Tommy Excellent, and his work is excellent. So message Tommy, I'm like, meet me at this thing. We're gonna do it on this particular day. So we get there, and I arrive at the spot. So mind you, in my head, I'm just thinking this tree, baobab tree concept. They're called something else, and they're native to Australia. So I get.
Jacaranda?
No, they're like, because initially I wanted to do something with jacarandas, but it was not jacaranda season. Had to pivot again.
I just
So
saw purple trees, so I just thought.
yeah, it was such a crazy mind situation going on there. So I get there, and when I arrived, I literally gasped. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is better than I expected." The stones,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
rocks. Are we in Great Zimbabwe or what?
Yeah,
Because
I'm
what is happening?
straight up.
And then we went into it. We shot it in one take. That was the first take.
No way.
Well, we did multiple takes because being me, I'm like, let's do 5 more just in case.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But once we had a look at all of them, we just the first take was the take.
It's clean. It's a very clean
All in
video.
one go. Like, no practice. We're just like, play the music. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I feel like I need to end up on the staircase because it signifies, the journey, and the journey continues. And I don't go all the way up the stairs because we're still at the start of the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But,
Okay.
but yeah, that's all we planned. And the rest was
Yeah.
just like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. And that's what.
Man, you're a visionary. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're a visionary because
Thank you.
that's crazy that it's one take. And
One-
it's a very, like I said, it's a very clean video. It's a dope song. So yeah, like it's just, again, it's the growth. It's the growth. I see it.
Bro, I think
See it.
I think it's getting older as well. You're just more
Right.
sure, and you just have a little
Yeah.
money to do more fun.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
some resources, but also like kind of coming back to what you said, like you're doing things and you're making things that you enjoy, and that's probably like the most important part of it.
Yeah.
You recently, see, I'm a fan. I pay attention.
Recently,
You recently did an interview where you talked about quitting your job. You
quick.
quit your job.
Yeah. Okay.
What made
You are researching.
bro?
Okay.
When I say I'm a fan, I'm a fan. What you?
All right.
What made you decide it was time? Because like, and we are gonna kind of touch on your other project, your Niasha project with a Y. But yeah, what made you decide it was time to kind of to bet on yourself?
Multiple things. I think sometimes we are in our own way, and we use certain things as excuses to not fully immerse ourselves into that which we claim we are fully immersed in.
Understood. Go deeper.
Let's they that have ears. Yeah,
Listen up, y'all.
listen up, y'all. In essence, what I'm trying to say is I was in a role that I really loved because I love working with children and things of that nature. But it got to a point where it was now becoming quite overwhelming. And because it was such a front-facing, emotion-driven, care-driven role, I spent a lot of time exhausted and burnt out, physically, mentally, emotionally, and creatively. So it just came to a point where I was like, okay. At first, it was like, okay, let me just go down to 4 days a week. And even then, it was quite a lot because outside of music, it's like my own personal life plus, being a business lady, other business ventures that I have.
Boss
It was
queen.
just- yeah. So, yeah. So, I'm trying to be a mogul, you know what I'm saying? So, mogul with limited time and a lack of sleep. So I had to make the choice.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was time. And like sometimes you can tell, like, I think I've served my time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've served my time.
Like
Yeah.
you've hit your roof.
I've hit my peak. I think
Yeah.
it's time. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was leaving your job, like, did it feel like, were you excited? Were you nervous? Like, what were the feelings?
See, me as a person, let's talk about Niasha, NYA. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
With a
keep a
Y.
job. I keep a job. One thing about me is the finances always have to be set. Like I've been working since I was 14 and 9 months and have not stopped since then.
Right.
So like letting go of something like that was very like, yo, like it was
Yeah.
actually quite intense. And I think I had to sit in this moment where I'm like, I feel like I'm in the wilderness. Like I literally have to like rethink about how I think about money, how I think about my self-worth when it comes to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because now those invoices are different, right? They're paying the bills.
Hello. Not even that. I think how I would, like how people say like everyone has a money story. Yeah. And I think sometimes I had to really trust that if this is where I'm going, this thing will work out. And this is an opportunity for me to trial different things and not just rely on this system of doing things. Yeah. So that was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you have to like? Because I feel like sometimes, right? Like the dream for every artist, no matter your art, the dream is to quit your job, to quit your full-time job. Even entrepreneurs, their dream is to quit their full-time jobs. But I feel like we're kind of sold on that dream of, this is the goal, this is the end goal.
Yeah.
But we're not always kind of, we're not always talked to about the survivability of taking that leap.
Yeah.
So like
Mind
what?
you, let me clear this up though. I
Yeah.
didn't jump and I was left with nothing. I still
Boy,
have
because that's what,
do.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, what practical preparation did you need to before making the decision to quit your full-time job?
I think I needed to have a cushion of
Right.
savings. I needed to pivot. So, part of what I was able to do was like, get my first aid, get my CPR,
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
back my old disability job to be like, hey guys, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm available for some here and there, for some shifts here and there, so I can.
Right.
'Cause how am I gonna pay for the music videos?
Yeah. Yeah.
How am I gonna? What I let go in my other job was the inflexibility.
Got you. Yeah.
And the fact that it was actually burning me out. I loved where I worked because the people there were so supportive, so amazing. It just was that like working 9 to 5 was actually like draining me
Yeah.
in many ways because of the type of job that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
feel
not
that.
saying to people, hey, just jump and go. But yeah, have a cushion.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be smart about it, right? Because like, how are you learning to balance being the artist, but also being the business and the strategist and the marketer and the manager and all of that?
A lot of roles, and I'm so grateful to the people that have supported me along the way, and also shout out to Taku, who really helped get things in place. The reason why I have a website and this and that and all of that, like it's like the effort.
Yeah.
Somebody being like, you need to put these structures and systems in place. And I felt like I kept falling behind because I was either too tired, too busy, or just like didn't have it in me to sit
Yeah.
there. Like, I'm going to spend 5 hours here playing around with what my website is going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
go to bed. I got work in the morning. So I don't have the energy to
Yeah.
be, you know what I mean? To be reviewing and sitting down and reviewing a music video and like, getting the social media stuff ready and all of that kind of stuff. Like, it takes work. It's not a 10-minute job. Sometimes
For
you'd be
sure.
editing a social media post for like 2 hours
Yeah. For a 30-second reel.
or 30-second reel that people watch and be like, that's cute. And scroll up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was those things. And also getting help. Like, I have somebody who's helping project manage this
Okay.
phase of my life and this music that's coming. So that has been such a help. I can't do everything, and I'm learning that because I like to do everything,
Yeah.
but it's not sustainable.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. And building your circle, right? And
In the circle.
playing again. I'm a shout out Fred for this one because he said this one and it stuck with me ever since. But like playing long term games with long term people is important.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important. Yeah. Because also, like, the not so great people, and I've seen many examples of like working with people who in the end it's a mad thing.
For sure. Oh yeah.
And the recovery is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like there's the financial investment, but there's the emotional investment as well, right? Like again, we're artists and this is
The
art. So
music
it's
is our
like
babies. Like, it's like
yeah.
it's a baby.
Yeah. There's a lot
Yeah,
to
so
it.
you're really sensitive sometimes. And when people play around, which people play around with your music and your vision and say things and that they don't mean or break promises or whatever. It's really full on. It's really jarring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because it's almost like you're disrespecting me, like my essence as a person.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
I wanna kind of talk all the great stuff you're doing kind of beyond music.
Mm.
As you said in the intro, you mentor young people. You got the Black Lullaby project, and you're working with the Chosen Foundation. Like you got all these things. Like what's talk to us behind all of these things and how they're keeping you fulfilled.
Man, where do I begin? This is why I was like, how long is this interview meant to go for? Because we could be here all day.
Yeah,
So I'll start with Chosen Foundation. I am the ambassador for Chosen Foundation. And part of that decision was, Zim is a place that, I was born in. I've always loved. And I think it's important to give back, but in a way that is collaborative. And I think that's what Chosen is about. Beyond it being, founded by somebody that I know, love, and care for so much. Shout out to the CEO,
yeah,
Taida. Yeah, it's the vision behind what is happening. Caring for teen moms, schools. I'm a lover of education. I got the degrees. You know what I'm saying? I know and I understand how important that is. Um, being able to be part of championing that work specifically in Zim and for the young people in Zim as well has been really important. Like, things like food security, that's so important. Like clean water, being able
mm,
to have access to water that is close to where you are so you don't have to travel 6 kilometers every day to get
yeah.
water, sitting on desks and chairs to learn, books that you can take home, things like that are really, really important. And
And
I
these are
think,
all things that we like, we consider every day, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
basic humanity. And I think it is so, so important to resource share is what I would like to call it. And, resource sharing is not just in the form of money. It's using your influence. It's using what you have, the networks that you have to do something, to make a change. So that is part of why I am, part of the Chosen Foundation team as an ambassador.
that's
Yeah.
great. And shout out to Chosen Foundation,
Shout out to
all the
Chosen
great
Foundation.
work.
Make a donation.
Do it, do it.
Kids. For the
Uh-huh.
kids. We always
For
say
the
it for the kids.
for the kid. Think of the children. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess alongside or like within that, or sorry, not within that, but like alongside that, Black Lullaby Experience and like all the
Woo.
work you're kind of doing for the community in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sense.
Black Lullaby Experience has been some of the most beautiful work that I feel like I've ever done. And I say that because it's merged my love for music, my love for children, my love for the academic aspects that come with it. And it's just like meshed it into one. So when I was, when we've been doing it, it's just been like my eyes, I'm like the little kid.
Yeah.
And it's been such a pleasure to work with Diane Morris, who is basically we work together. And she's a midwife, so completely different vein. And how we got to meet was because I was having lunch with Taku, who I mentioned before, and I was like to her, if I wasn't like a musician or anything like that, I would have loved to be a midwife.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, just a random conversation.
Yeah.
And then she so happened to meet up and hang out with Diane and just mentioned like, I have this girl who's a musician who said that if she wasn't a musician, she would have been a midwife. And then long story short, there was an opportunity. I think it was like a grant through Art Play. We applied for it as like part of doing that. And that's how we started the Black Lullaby Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
And
it's basically a lullaby making experience for children of the African and Caribbean diaspora. And
mm,
their parents. And it's so wholesome because, Diane comes in with the knowledge of midwifery and like, looking after your child, what's important. Because one of the questions that she wanted to answer is like how most parents would ask her, like, how do I soothe my baby? The
Yeah,
baby wants
yeah,
to
yeah,
cry. How do I do this? And she was like, every time I heard that question, I would always think music.
yeah.
But, getting to explain that to parents in a way that they can understand that it doesn't have to be complicated
Mm,
and they can make up songs for their kids and they can have them listen to different kinds of music. And it's actually really good for their brains. It's good for their development. It's good for the connection between them and their children as parents. So being able to facilitate that and then at the end, write a lullaby for them in the session and them being like, "Oh my gosh, we were just saying words, we were just talking, and this person is making a song out of
yeah.
what we said." It's like the coolest thing ever. So yeah, that's been so much fun. Very interesting, like challenging wise in the sense of like, it's forcing me to be like, okay, I'm hearing words, words, words. I'm writing a
Yeah.
song. And this is what we've come up with for your babies and
It's
for
such a
you.
like cool creative outlet for you, but I'm sure even just for like the parents that you're working with, like it's got to be such a cool, like you said, like they come in, they speak some words, and then they leave with a song, and they're not expecting that, so it
Yeah.
must be such an awesome thing.
And a lot of the words come out of, Diane asking them reflective questions about their parenting and things like that. And I
Yeah.
think in conclusion, a lot of the feedback that we were getting from parents was that they didn't feel like it was an event that they took their child to and it was about the kid. It was
Right.
actually about them because a lot of times when people become parents, it stops being about them. It's
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
everything is centered around the baby. But the babies were just playing with instruments, doing their own thing, and then we're asking them, so, tell me about a childhood memory that she had. They're like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought about this song in a very long time. I sing this song to my kid. I play Afro beats to our daughter, and now yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and infusing culture in particular. So one family returned back. She is Ethiopian and the partner is I can't remember what he was, but not Ethiopian, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
And she was explaining that after the sessions that they've had, their daughter has been a lot more like musically inclined. So she will do like little things or like hums or whatever. And because of the cultural aspect of the workshop and the experience, they actually dressed their daughter for their first birthday in like a full Ethiopian outfit.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I was like, ha!
Yeah.
Hey.
Like what a fulfilling moment. And I think people don't necessarily realize how much of a resource music is for social and emotional learning for children, but also like in the way you've kind of designed this program, it's like you're now helping parents with their social and emotional learning as well. Because like you said, sometimes it stops for them and they kind of just like focusing on the baby and on the
The
child.
kid, the kid. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it's cool that they kind of get that opportunity to sort of explore those emotions themselves as well as their child. I think that's really
Yeah.
awesome.
And for one parent, it was like a parent and then a grandma who brought her grandson. I think what they said they loved the most was the fact that they were given the opportunity to be creative as well. Because then they were contributing the words. They were saying, okay, I think, if you sing this word this way, how about if we sing it this way? I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it that way. So
You're right.
building that confidence, and by the end of the session, you could tell they're like, okay, can we add this word? What if we,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're an artist. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
they're creating with you now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which I loved. That was like an awesome, awesome experience.
You have got like such an amazing circle around you.
Mm,
It sounds like you got an amazing circle personally, but also even just like professionally and creatively. Like you work a lot with Seiko,
yeah.
who's been playing Michael Jackson in MJ the Musical. Shout
What's
out
MJ?
Seiko.
Mike Jack.
As Mike Jack. Man, I went to watch the show and he wasn't Mike. I was very upset. But
Shout
shout out to Seiko for real.
out to Zika. Yeah, I
Um,
went to
you
watch it.
know,
So amazing.
yeah.
it was something that, like, he'd mentioned to me that, like, I'm applying for this, don't tell anyone. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
then when he got it, yeah, we were just screaming up and down the house. But yeah.
I'm gonna have to get him on the show, man. So Seiko, if you're listening to this, bro, let's
Yeah,
talk.
to like Seiko's story is yo, yo, yo,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell me because I'm gonna get him on the show. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about it.
Leave that for the audience. Let him tell his story.
But yeah, like, you're working with Seiko, you're working with Silent, you work Sampa the Great. You've been on tour with
Yeah.
Sampa. Like, what is it for you kind of being around these amazing artists? And like, what do you learn from being in there? So
Huh. I learned so many different and one thing I've learned is a big trait of mine is that I like to just watch and learn. Like I'm quite as much as I talk a lot.
yeah.
I'd be watching. I'd be scoping. And from each of them, I've learned so many different things, like how to run a business, what kind of people you need on your team, what it looks like to show up in a space, to take up space, to coordinate people, like right down to like how you put together like a calendar. Okay? Like little things, big things, what the systems like each of them have in place for what they do and why they do it that way and that sort of thing. So what's been such an interesting ride and you learn a lot. You learn from their victories and you also learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from, some of the challenges that they've faced in the industry. And for example, Sampa was always like to me, let me tell you, like she'll be like, this right here. Yeah, A, B, C, and D. Like she's very open in terms of being like, if you have anything that you want to ask about something or whatever, like
Yeah.
more than welcome to just ask about it.
And I
Yeah.
think like, talking about Sampa,
Mm.
and having been on tour with her, like, does that kind of like give you like an energy to be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I can see myself right here.
Yeah, it was so interesting. Being on tour was like, I keep saying like, this was some of the best times of my life, but
Yeah.
to so many different things. But
Yeah.
it was in the sense that I got to learn a lot about like touring and all of that kind of stuff. And just also how, like, how we're talking about, treating everybody like with like love and respect. Like she is on that. Like I didn't feel like I was out of place because I was coming in because somebody else wasn't able to be on the tour and I didn't feel out of place.
Right, right. You didn't feel like just a fill-in, essentially.
I didn't feel like a filler. I didn't feel like I was like, I mean, I'm accepted by her and that, but I don't know about the rest of the band. Like they treated me like I was, I'm family. And to this day, like I still have, a relationship with, everybody. So yeah, it was some of the best times and traveling and being jet lagged and you just realize, this is why people are on that cocaine. Why people? This is why if there was ever a time I was like, I don't support it. I'm not condoning it, but I get it.
But you get it, yeah.
Get it. There was one time we were on a bus going somewhere and I don't know, one of the guys said something funny and I just started laughing and I couldn't stop to the point where I was in tears. That's
Delirium.
how tired
Yeah.
I was.
Delirium kicked
But
in.
yeah, but we went to some cool places. Like I was in Slovakia. Dude, what?
I don't even know where that is, right?
Exactly. I was like, how? I do not even know part of my life story would be that I would end up in Slovakia. I don't even think anyone in my ancestry has ever been. So, yeah, trendsetter and that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And what has, I guess, being part of that tour, sure, but also like within your own performances, what has performing taught you about like, connecting with audience that recording music alone could never?
Yeah, I love live performance a little bit more. Slightly
I
more.
mean, you've got a dope stage presence. Let me tell you that. Like your live shows are always fantastic. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. I think I'm a people person. So I feel like the studio feels like we have to get it right. We have to get it perfect. And it's like, take number 6, but live, it's time to sing. It's time to sing.
It is.
You
Yeah,
missed the note. You missed the note.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, you can't restart the song. I mean, you could, it's your show, but um, I love being able to connect with people. And I love the fact that, music that I'm making in my room, or I was making whilst I was doing the dishes, or like I was driving somewhere, and this idea, and somebody either is singing it back to me, or I'm asking them to sing it back to me and to themselves. And we're having this moment and a time in history, like being able to create, it's like an experience that you're like, wow, we're in this moment together.
Yeah.
Like I am like, wow, you're like, wow, we're wow together. We're wow together. So yeah, I just enjoy that.
Yeah, because I think I remember a show of yours that you did. It was part of some festival. I don't know. You were in like a tent at the Arts Center.
Hey.
This would have been.
Oh, it was like Melbourne International Arts Festival.
Yeah, it might have been the Arts Festival.
Yeah. I remember you were there. Yeah, because you sent me the videos.
Yes, and you had like this whole moment where you had like a dance circle going on, and I'm like, man, I was like, she kind of stole my thing, but she's dope. She's dope. And you know what? I think that was maybe the first time in my life that I went to a gig by myself, but I had the best time. I had the best time. So like,
that is the point.
Yeah. Nah, you killed it.
Yeah.
So I guess now, given the last couple of years that you've had, and now you're currently dropping us some fire music, and you're giving us hints of like some other. You wrote a song about Roybos. I saw that story.
I love Roybos.
So this might be a bit of a loaded question, but what do you feel like you're on the verge of right now?
I could answer this philosophically, or I could answer this with a straight answer. What do you require from me?
Like I said, this is your show. You give us the answer that feels right.
Philosophically speaking, I believe that I'm on the verge of jumping off the cliff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too philosophical. And what I mean by that is like, the whole aspect of like, leaving my job and and going this new musical direction. I think it's time.
Yeah.
And it's time to just go all in.
Yeah.
I'm literally standing on a cliff, and I'm like, okay, parachute, no parachute.
Yeah.
Don't know what's down there. Don't know if I'm gonna fly. But hey, man.
It's your before we take off moment, It's just,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boss
So
Queen has been
before I take off.
This is before you take off.
I'll be back.
Oh yeah, and honestly, we could sit here and talk for hours, but I'm gonna leave him some to come back to, because we're gonna run this back. But before we do all that, we're gonna do what we do on every show, and that's go to our signature 3 questions. It's rapid fire. Don't even think about it. Just the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. What is something you would do again?
In terms of what?
In life, in whatever, like just something you would do again.
Something I would do again. Go to Portugal.
Nope. Oh, okay. On the flip side, what's something you'd never do again?
Nah, I can't say this. I can't say this.
Why not?
No, or something I would never. Okay. Let me. No. Okay, that's just, no. I don't know why I'm psyching myself out. I'll come back and we can talk about some of the most, crazy experiences that I've had in my career. That's fine.
And last question. What is something you wish someone told you at the start of your journey?
I wish someone told me three things: to put systems in place early, to not let people take you for idiots. That's number two.
Yeah.
And number three, to not overthink things. Yeah. To get
Yeah.
over perfectionism.
Yeah. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. She's the boss queen. Niasha, it's been so good having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you go, let the people know where they can find your work online. Let them know what it is, where it is.
So if you want to go on the YouTube, you got to go on to the Niasha, which is Niasha. On Instagram, it's Niasha_world because it's my world and you're invited in it. And you can find me on my website at www.niashaworld.com, or you can see all the updates and little things. You can join my mailing list because I share a lot more about, secret things. The only secret things that if you join the mailing list, you're in on some things that other people are not in on. So that's another thing. And on TikTok, where I do random things like showing my personality, which is Niasha World. Yeah. So that's
fantastic.
Where you can find me. And on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms as Niasha. So yeah.
Yeah. And as always, we drop the information in the description. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you check out Niasha because, ladies and gentlemen, when we say she's about to take off, she's about to take off and you want to be right there.
Hello.
Let's go. But otherwise, I'm Mufara. This is Niasha. And this is another episode of Before We Take Off. And as always, y'all are very beautiful people. I actually think this is the season finale. So, yeah, this is season 2.
Season finale. I'm engaged.
Hold on now. Okay. I saw that pop up before, and I was like, maybe it's just glare. I was like, maybe something just glaring.
Where's rings? So what? It could be anything.
Yo, congratulations. That's dope.
Yeah.
When did it happen? How did it happen? Then we're doing an extended cut right now.
Whoa, hold on. When did it happen? It happened in February, actually. Yeah. When people say people know how to keep a secret.
That's a big secret.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. No,
yeah.
congrats.
I don't
That's
know whether
amazing.
by then I would have told people. No, actually, I'll leave the other one. The other one I would just tell you off camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bang! Boom! Look at that.
Bang!
Carrots. That's amazing. Congratulations. Niasha, ladies and gentlemen, she's off the streets. She's a boss queen. She
off the streets. Wait, will this affect my music career? Because I know, like, for the man them, yeah, like when they follow me a chick, they're like, I support your music. Then they see a ring on their finger. People are now
okay.
You and all them things there.
Nah,
Don't do that. That's not nice.
They'll hate watch. It's fine. Allow it.
Yeah, allow it.
Allow it.
Keep listening.
But there you go, man. That's it. What a season 2 drop. But hey, I'm Mufara. This is Niasha. This is Before We Take Off, and y'all are beautiful. We'll see you guys very, very soon. But I appreciate y'all. Peace out, y'all. Thank you.
Gotcha. Thank you guys for listening.
You know what? We about to take off. Yeah, you know what? We about to take off.